Okay, so let's talk about spins. So on my Sabre, I have two tapes. I have a tape that's kind of my spotter, and that's where the Sabre is naturally balanced at. And then another tape I have about 7 to 8 inches away from the tip, and this is my catch tape. It's where my goal is when I'm tossing and stuff to kind of catch. So that's what I use as references when I'm teaching and stuff. So just as you're going through the video, if you feel me or if you hear me say catch tape, I'm talking about this. And if you hear me say spotter, I'm talking about this. So we're gonna go ahead and start with that right hand with that thumb pressed up against the catch tape. Not your hand fully on it, just press like this, and that left hand is gonna go ahead and press against the hilt. Again, if you don't have a catch tape or a spotter tape, it's no big deal. Just kind of see where it's placed on the rifle. Again, this is the balance point, and this is 7 or 8 inches away from the tip. So I'm gonna start here at that right flat. I'm gonna push straight down. You wanna make sure that when you push, you are actually pushing, you're not just letting your Sabre fall. There's gonna be a very big difference because we're using activation from that left hand, and we don't wanna kind of pull with that elbow in the right hand. You really have to push to start it. So we're gonna go ahead and just go push and grab. So notice that I'm starting that spin. I'm starting to let go when my when my Sabre is going to flat. I'm loosening up my grip and letting go so the Sabre can land back in. Notice I'm not twerking. Notice I'm not torquing my elbow. I'm not doing anything with my shoulder. I'm literally just releasing and re-grabbing. My elbow technically stays connected the whole time. So now I'm here in that right flat. I'm gonna go push and 1. And try that a million times or known if you don't know how to do spins already. Push and 1. Then from there we're gonna do 10. We're gonna go 5, 6, 7, press and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, stop. Okay, so now from here, if you want to do the basic version, if this is your first time doing spins, I honestly recommend doing the basic version, which is just stopping flat. So you would go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But for here, we're gonna do a little more advanced version, and we're gonna go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we're gonna land right in that hilt with the thumb pressed up against the back of it. So now, I know that probably looked a little bit confusing if you've never done stuff in the hilt before, but you wanna do the exact same drop spin you did, and then you literally just lift your hand the slightest little bit. You don't add or take away energy, you just lift a little higher, and that hand will naturally land in the hilt. And go ahead and look at your Sabre a bunch of times and kind of look at that hilt and see where you need to put that hand every time. And again, you're not changing speed and doing this, because when the Sabre will do that, you're gonna go ahead and just change height. Height up, grab, and you just let the Sabre float a little more. So now let's try 11 count. So we go 5, 6, 7, press and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, grab 11. Cool. So now as I'm spinning, also really notice that I'm not directly on that spotter. So I'm actually not on the balance point. I'm a little bit past it, so I can be pulling that balance point down. There has to be some kind of action that's counteracting my Sabre. So I am about literally like an inch or a centimeter away from that spotter, and that's where I'm doing my spins at. So that means that I'm starting with that catch tape. I have to pull that hand in on the first spin. So I don't re-grab out here, I re-grab in here. And I'm a couple inches away, or just 1 or 2 inches away from that spotter. So again, we go 5, 6, 7, press, pull it in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, hit. Cool. And now also notice that as I'm spinning, again, I'm on those 2 fingers and that thumb. As I'm doing this, these 3 fingers also are working obviously, but they're not really doing much. They're kind of just for show. So make sure that those first 2 fingers and that thumb are really working. You can kind of check yourself, and you should be able to do your spins just with those 2 fingers and your thumb. And that's your way to check to make sure that you're actually pinching and guiding the Sabre properly, because it's going to be super important in choreography and stuff. You understand how to pinch and control the direction of the hilt. Okay, so we just ended on that count 11. From here, all we do is we just bring it to flat on 12. We grab the bottom of the hilt on 13, the cage. We pull up on 14, hold 15, and then we push for the other side on 16. All the same details carry right over to the left. The left is gonna be harder. It's gonna feel like you need more like kind of motivation or more details to get the left side, but you don't. You just have to literally try over and over again. When it gets to flat, let it go, just like you did for the right side. So just try that a couple times, push and grab. Notice I'm not doing push like this, and I'm not going fast. I'm literally just doing super slow, push and grab. Really get used to how that Sabre's swing around, swing and grab as you're going into it. So then you do 10 of those. You go push on 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now from this moment, I'm the same thing. I'm just gonna raise up the height, 11. I'm gonna go right into that hilt For this side, I actually don't press my thumb along the hilt because most sabers have like small on this side and then bigger on this side. I hate that. I hate how big it is on that side. So I don't press my thumb. I just wrap my thumb for the left side. I personally think it's important to know both. So same thing on the right side. If you want to wrap a couple times and get used to it, and then wrap on this side and then sometimes press if you're comfortable with that, do that. Again, you want to expand variety. You want to have a bunch of skill sets. You don't only want to know one way of doing something. You want to be able to step out of bounds and do other ways. So we're going to go ahead. I wrap that thumb for the left side. So I'm going to wrap on 11, and then same thing, I'm gonna hit down on 12, grab on 13, switch it on 14, and hold 15, push on 16. So let's try both sides. I go 5, 6, and 5, 6, 7, press in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up 11, 12, third, 4, 5th, push, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up 11, 12, third, 4, 5th, and stop. Awesome. So that's drop spins. A couple of things. You really want to make sure that you are fully squeezing and guiding down. You don't want to do this. You don't have any control when you do that. You want to make sure that you are controlling the saber. Squeeze, squeeze, down, switch, push. Make sure that you have that kind of locked into your head so your saber's not going wild at the end of the spins. But yeah, that is drop spins or spins. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and message me on Instagram. Thanks.